It would surprise you to find out that over 20,000 nerve endings exist in the foreskin, which is more than half of the total nerve endings in the penis. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Would that change your opinion on surgery at all?
Honestly, I think there's more to it than maybe just that part.
Would you do it to your own son, stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, I know like the basics, but obviously I don't know like.
Would you say it's a cruel practice, Ethan?
That's kind of a leading question.
Channel on the topic.
On circumcision?
Yeah. Questions for you and stuff.
Sure.
You're not a student? I shouldn't ask what year you are.
You can ask what I am, but I'm just not a student here.
Just 18 to 26.
Yeah,
That's good.
26.
Okay.
Awesome. Cool.
All right. So, what ethnicity do you go by?
I am Mexican.
Mexican.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a sophomore, second year.
What age?
I'm 19.
19. Cool. And what ethnicity do you go by?
White.
White. All right. What are you?
I'm a visiting scholar here.
Scholar. Okay. Where from?
I'm Canadian originally.
Canadian. Okay. Cool. May I ask how old you are and what ethnicity you go by?
I'm 32, and I'm white, I guess.
Okay. Cool. What year are you?
I'm a senior. I'm 26.
26. Okay. What ethnicity do you go by?
White.
White. Okay. What year are you?
Second year,
What age are you?
18.
And what ethnicity do you go by?
I identify as Black and Guamanian.
Okay.
I'm a freshman here.
Freshman. So you're about 18? Yeah. 18. Okay. What is your ethnicity, Teresa?
I'm Taiwanese Chinese.
Okay. What year are you?
I'm a second year.
What age are you?
I'm 19.
Okay. And I'm assuming you're a Korean American?
I am Korean American.
Okay. Are you familiar with circumcision at all?
Yeah.
Not intimately.
I know that procedure that you get done if you want the foreskin removed from your penis.
So you don't know what it is?
I do know what it is, yes.
There's religious purposes. There used to be like purposes due to like health. That's really all I know. I know it's common in like Catholicism and like Judaism.
What do you know about circumcision?
I know that it's usually a procedure done like for newborns and like it's more rooted in tradition.
You know when it's usually performed there? I don't know.
When the baby is like just born or like very small, right?
Do you know when it's usually performed?
At birth usually, or like as a young infant, I would say, I think.
But for either middle class or for like near middle class group or Christians, do you guys have any traditions with circumcision that you know about?
Definitely a Judeo-Christian thing to get circumcised for sure.
For Christians as well?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Do you have a cultural, any like culture that you identify with?
Besides my ethnicity, or
Anything?
oh, just
Multiple things.
my culture. It's my family, my heritage. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a history of circumcision happening in that culture?
Yeah, it has happened. Yeah. Yeah, in that culture. Yeah.
Don't Korean Americans circumcise?
In most cases, yeah.
Okay. So you have a history in your family of being circumcised?
Yeah.
Do you have a history of having circumcision done in that background? Taiwanese? Or...
I don't think so. I think there's a Christian population in Taiwan, so then I think they would do it.
Okay. Do you have a history in your own family?
Yes, definitely at least 3 generations that I know of.
In your family, have you had a history?
No.
No. Okay.
We're Catholic and I know that typically boys don't get circumcised. Like I don't think the men in my family are circumcised.
Okay.
Recently, my aunt had a baby, and she was asking everyone on Facebook whether or not it's right for her baby to be circumcised.
Wow.
And so that's the only experience I have with circumcision in general. But yeah, both sides of the spectrum. Yes, you should. No, you shouldn't. It's a baby's choice, or you should just do it because it's less painful for the baby now. Stuff like that.
Okay. Did she end up carrying through with it?
No.
No, she didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know any family traditions regarding circumcision?
In my own family?
Yes.
I am an only child, so
Okay.
no.
My family is predominantly Catholic, so majority of my mom's side, the boys were circumcised, like her siblings or like kind of like that.
But like, I guess your dad or your uncle.
I don't know. My mom's family is Jewish, so I'm pretty sure any men in that side of the family are circumcised.
Okay. Would you possibly do it to your own son? Are you going to continue on with your son?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I do have a son, yeah.
That's right.
I personally think, I don't know, I think I would be open. I think I would do it.
To your own son?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be their choice. I'm not gonna do it as a newborn because I know like it is pretty painful for like the newborn.
So if they're of age and they like want to, then they can. I'm not gonna just do it for them.
Okay. Would you also hold off on circumcising your own infant son?
I don't know. I actually haven't thought about that yet. Giving birth in general, I haven't thought about,
Okay.
honestly.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't consider myself religious, but if I had a child, that would be something I'd have to talk over with my wife and discuss the benefits or not, see if it's like, because I know at least some people they consider it more clean, but I don't know, it's not something I really have thought about in the past like couple of years.
Do you think would you describe it as like a moral issue?
Not necessarily, unless you consider yourself pretty religious. I know it has religious purposes. I wouldn't say it's a moral issue, considering that I don't think whether or not you have a foreskin really impacts your life in any way.
Okay.
That's just my opinion, though.
Okay.
I think if I were to go ahead and have birth, it would be a son. I would have to think about everything, and then also my partner and what they think and stuff like that.
Would you leave it completely up to your husband?
No.
Okay, so you would want to say.
Yes.
Any reason why or why not?
I guess I don't really understand the purpose.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know that there's like a religious purpose for it, but other than that, like because my family is not religious.
Do you have any reservations at this point?
Yes, just because I would imagine it hurts.
Would you have your own son circumcised?
No.
Do you have an explanation as to why?
I'm not religious and I don't think there are any health benefits.
Would you say you would continue on that tradition and circumcise your own son?
I think I would have to find out more information. I think that historically it's been used against people of color in the United States. So I think I would just have to really consider it.
Okay. What reservations do you have?
If it's necessary or not.
Would you say it's a cruel practice, even?
That's kind of a leading question. I don't know. I haven't given it a whole lot of thought.
Okay.
But I do believe that people should have bodily autonomy, and if you're an infant, you're not giving consent to that. So.
Okay, for sure.
I don't know if it's, I don't think it's, I obviously don't think it's necessary since everybody doesn't do it. So I think I'm still like halfway. I think whoever my partner is would have like a really big say since they're a man and they probably do more.
That's interesting. You say everybody doesn't do it. What do you mean by that?
Well, like my brother and my dad isn't circumcised.
Oh, in your family?
Yeah,
Okay.
like I don't think any men, like, I mean, that's not something like I kind of ask, but I don't think for the most part, I know my brother isn't for sure.
Okay. In America, do you know why it's done? Because it's definitely done in this country.
I'm not sure, other than for the religious reason.
Well, they say it's for cleanliness, but it's kind of debatable. I would say cleanliness, but yeah.
Okay.
I think people do it because they say it's cleaner, although, like I said, I don't know that it is. And I don't know, I guess that's it.
Is it done in Canada?
Yes, it is. I think largely for religious reasons.
Okay.
And maybe for a perceived health reason, but I think that's sort of falling out of favor in Canada.
Okay. Do you know how to define it in your own words?
I guess it's the extra layer of skin that a penis might have, and so there's a procedure to cut that skin off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Define circumcision in your own words.
It's cutting the foreskin off.
Right.
It's the removal of the excess foreskin on a man's penis.
A removal of foreskin.
That works? Yeah. Define it in your own words.
I think it's typically a religious like procedure where they remove like the typical, like the overlapping skin.
Male circumcision?
Yeah. Yes.
The removal of part of the foreskin.
Part of the foreskin.
I
Okay.
think.
Do you have any preference for how circumcised versus uncircumcised looks aesthetically? Doesn't matter to you.
Doesn't.
Okay. And do you have a preference on how it looks aesthetically? It's for the girl. Gonna ask you.
I mean, I'm circumcised. I prefer it over how I feel like it would look with a foreskin. Personally, I just feel it looks cleaner.
Okay.
No reaction per se, because like I feel like in our society, being circumcised is considered the norm. So I feel like, at least on my part, that no one's really said anything about it. If anything, they've just been more like relieved. There hasn't been like an issue, so I feel like they've been fine with it.
I think it looks better, personally.
Uncircumcised.
I think circumcised looks better than uncircumcised.
Okay.
But I'm probably just biased. So,
Okay.
yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I definitely would say like an uncircumcised penis is like typically more attractive penis.
More attractive. Okay.
I don't think I've encountered a circumcised penis actually.
Oh, okay. Okay. Personally, on like the looks.
I can't tell the difference. I don't.
You can't tell the difference?
I don't think I've ever looked like.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm assuming no.
Doesn't.
Otherwise, I would have noticed. I think.
Right. Okay. Do you have any preference for uncircumcised versus the circumcised penis in terms of aesthetics?
Don't think it matters.
Does matter? Okay. Have you heard of any stigmas regarding uncircumcised or circumcised people?
Yeah, definitely, especially on Cal. Yeah.
Oh, do you know of any stigmas to go either way, circumcised or uncircumcised? Like, have you heard of like people calling it an anteater or uncircumcised?
Yeah, I've heard that.
What do you think about that?
I think it's sad.
Actually, having a circumcised penis is more attractive, so to say. If you're not circumcised, it's probably dirty. You know, but honestly, I don't know because I don't identify as a male, so I don't know. I just have to, I guess, experiment with that one.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not against it, the idea of not getting circumcised. I've heard it's also typical in the Jewish community to not be circumcised. I know that also that's negative as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I can think of right now.
So Cal is pretty pro-circumcision, huh?
I actually don't know about that one, but yeah,
Okay.
gay society in general.
Fun fact, did you know that over 20,000 nerve endings exist in the foreskin?
No.
It's over half of the total penis. Did that change your opinion on it anyway?
I already knew that it was like, I watched this one TV show where it said it was like propaganda set by like Kellogg saying that like he wanted, because he was a super conservative Christian that wanted to like brainwash people into not masturbating. Yeah, I mean I already knew that it was just all just tradition rather than actual like cleanliness.
Yeah, I heard about that too. It's like the Serial Brothers, right?
Yeah.
It would surprise you to find out that over 20,000 nerve endings exist in the foreskin, which is more than half of the total nerve endings in the penis. You know that?
No, I didn't.
Would that change your opinion on surgery at all?
Honestly, I think there's more to it than maybe just that part. I don't know, there's a lot of social things going on with that, and then just the biological aspect too.
Did you know that there are over 20,000 nerve endings in foreskin, which is over half of the entire penis?
No, I did not.
Does that change your view on circumcision at all?
No, I feel like I would have to know more to actually form my own opinion about it.
Okay. Have you heard about people sort of stigmatizing it by calling it like an anteater penis
Yeah.
or gross? What do you think
I've
about
heard
that?
those. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I can't really. Yeah, I'm not gonna like protest against it or anything.
For example, like some people might make fun of one and
Yeah,
the other.
like it's something that I would expect, but I haven't really heard of like people talking about it.
We just talked to somebody earlier about like how they felt that Cal was pretty pro-circumcision. Do you feel that?
I have no idea. Like I just came here, so I.
Okay. Are you familiar with like sort of the anteater term?
I mean, I wasn't familiar with it until you said it. Now I'm picturing it in my mind, so now I get it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got for you. Wanted to like check out the final production. We can send it to you
Oh.
if you're interested.
Sure.
Yeah, if you just have like a student email or something, get
Yeah.
sent to you. We'll like email you once we get it up.
So is it just like a survey for people or
Aware
the
about
stance
that.
on? Okay.
Yeah, and their opinions.
I feel like I'm being a very good sport.
You are, yes, you are.
You are.
Would you believe in like in America, it's opposite?
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, I read the internet, so I know.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
You did great.
Good luck with your
You are a great sport.
circumcision channel.
Yeah.